What's going on, Pisces? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the week of April 15th to the 21st, 2024. So in this reading, Pisces, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you for this upcoming week in April. So I hope the last reading throw you off? Nope. Didn't think so. So anyway, I'm going to pull the energy for you. You are very welcome here in this space with me, and I really appreciate you taking the time to check this reading out as always. So let's go ahead and pull the energy, and let's see what is coming through for you. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Pisces. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got going on here for you, Pisces, for this week. Wow. All right, Pisces. So, seemingly like it's a very difficult energy here for you for this week, particularly with your loved ones. For some of you, this is going to have to do with your home and family members. For others of you, this is going to have to do with your love and partnerships, friendships. Before we get into the tarot, I'm going to show you the pre-shuffled oracle cards because these oracle cards represent the overall theme that you're going to be dealing with on a spiritual level for this week. So let me show you them in successive order, then we'll talk about it. You have the 4th house of home and family. You have the 7th house of love and partnership and one-to-one relationships of all kinds. You have Mars, which has to do with drive, power, masculine energy. It's how you get what you want. It's your active masculine energy, your aggression. And then you have Saturn, which has to do with limits and lessons. And, it's the authority type of energy. It's very slow-moving energy. And it does deal with limits and kind of lessons in life and a very, serious, cold, disciplined, boundary-oriented energy. So what I feel here for you, anyone born with Mars conjunct Saturn in their birth chart, there's a high probability that when young or even at a certain phase of their life, if they're not integrated, they can hate authority. Any person, it could be the father, the state, the employer, whoever, someone around them. If someone has authority over them in a masculine way, they can be the most authority-hating people. So I feel whether it's you or someone around you, whether it's in your home or love and partnerships or a combination of both, there's definitely a challenge here, to deal with authority within a relationship is what I really feel. Now, it's interesting that as we're speaking, we're coming out of a very strong Mars conjunct Saturn in the sky. So I think that this is coming up for a very specific reason astrologically as well. This may have to do with the remnants of this conjunction. But, Saturn and Mars can feel like delayed to the action that you want to take. And, Mars and Saturn can really have to do with anger management issues. It can have to do with a feeling of I want to do something with Mars, but then Saturn comes and slows it down. But sometimes, Saturn can punish the energy of Mars, who's aggressive, and Saturn comes in. And so I would suggest that instead of, trying to, argue with someone around you here in some sort of way in your one-to-one relationships, it's much more efficient to make your energy very sharp and very focused with Mars and Saturn in order to navigate relationships, but maybe not in a way of like fighting someone or yourself here is what I really feel. This has to do with masculine energy, Mars and Saturn. So I feel like this is what you're dealing with in some sort of way in your life for this week. And so Mars, Saturn, last thing I'm going to say, it can make war very real. You know, like if someone has like Mars conjunct Saturn in their birth chart, they'll probably be like, yeah, that world war is coming. You know, that war is very real. It's very real, you know. And so it can make aggression feel more like real than it actually really is. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say as well. I know I keep saying that. There was a reading that I did for you like, maybe a month ago or a couple months ago. And it had to do with a lot of you spiritual Pisces out there that are like, you may be trying to fix the person that you're in a relationship with. It could be your home and family or your seventh house, some one-to-one relationship that you have. You may be trying to, channel your spiritual healing energy, or you may be trying to fix someone, and it may be coming from a place of it's the easy thing to do instead of really fixing yourself, or to channel that energy into some other place, you know, like the Mars drive and power, Saturn, you know, lessons and limits. Instead of trying to like give that to someone around you in your home and family or love and partnership this week, this may be something that you can like try to direct back towards yourself. Like, if before you find fault with anyone, you should say, how does this fault already exist within me? You know, because there could be a lot of projection going on, and there could be a lot of like, who has authority in this house, or like who has authority in this partnership in your life for some sort of way is what I feel. A lot of frustration coming in this week for you. I honestly do feel that. So let's go ahead and get into this reading. Your opportunity is the World card. It has to do with a phase of your life coming to an end. It's like the end of the Fool's journey, and it represents receiving a reward for having gone through a full cycle with something. So for many of you, you know, if some of you are living at home, there could be something to do with you're no longer meant to let someone be your authority. For some of you, not all of you, you know, the world is like you're ending like a cycle, a major soul cycle in your life that may have to do with someone you feel has authority over you, that you may need to, in a conscious way, make sure that that doesn't exist, because it's simply no longer relevant for a certain phase of your life. For this could be a parent who has like authority over you. It could be someone that it's no longer relevant for that to be the case. So the World card here. Now, for others of you, what I sense though is definitely upgrading your relationships as a result of navigating this Mars Saturn energy correctly, instead of, you know, like letting your anger out on someone, or something like that. You know what I mean? So the World card is here. There's definitely a big opportunity for you to upgrade your life this week. Definitely. Even if it doesn't look like it, is what I would say. Because once again, the Mars Saturn thing could be like, I want to take action, but I can't. I want to love you, but Saturn is here. So there's something going on here. You also have in your challenge, which is the Star. The Star has to do with healing, regeneration, and wish fulfillment. So for some of you, the challenge for this week is going to be to bring healing and to regenerate a relationship, someone in your home and family, someone in your love and partnerships, one-to-one relationships. It is to actually bring healing to that relationship as a result of, for some of you, a temporary ending that's going to happen this week. For others of you, though, this is about your challenge has to do with your own wish fulfillment. And for some of you that are completely allowing someone to be your own authority instead of letting your own soul be your own authority, there may be something here about you having to, it's a challenge for you to readjust your wish fulfillment and to heal yourself, you know, as a result of a one-to-one relationship coming to an end. For some of you here is what I really feel. So it's a very spiritual opportunity and challenge we're going to have to clarify. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I feel like there is like an ending that's a result of delusion in some sort of way, or it's a very difficult ending that you're going to have to move through for some of you. In your overall general energy, you have the Ten of Swords, which is to do with a complete ending, the Seven of Cups, which has to do with sorting through illusion or making a difficult emotional choice, And you also have the Strength card, which is about moving through a difficult situation with grace. And it's about bringing balance to your higher self and your animalistic nature. And like I said with Mars Saturn, that can definitely bring up it can make the animalistic Mars more real. It can give substance to it. It can make frustration, anger management issues. So in some sort of way, there's definitely a power struggle, I feel, in your relationships here. For some of you, the correct thing that's going to happen is something is going to come to an end because someone's authority over you has been an illusion and it's been keeping you trapped in a cycle, and you're going to have the strength to break out of it. Now, for others of you, there's going to be something with your one-to-one relationships or family that is a completely overblown argument that's going to be a temporary ending, that's actually going to be a delusional ending that you're going to have strength to really repair after this week, or this could even happen during this week, okay? Or like as you're listening to this, and for some of you, it's like you're going to have to stand up for yourself and not let someone like a parent or, a lover or like a friend like bully you into like they're your authority. But for others of you, I feel like it's more about like understanding that each of us are authorities in different areas of life, and that's okay. But like someone needs to honor where you are an authority. And if they're not doing that, then it's a delusion. You need to honor where they are an authority. They can honor where you are an authority. Where is your excellence here? And if that's not happening, it could be a very difficult ending, or it could be a very difficult time for someone who's not recognizing your own power, or someone who refuses. This could have to do with, for some of you, this is going to have to do with a parent who refuses to see you as an authority, even if you are. It's like, it's the idea that if someone was changing your diapers as a baby, no matter what you do, it's going to be hard for them to see you as an authority. So maybe whether this is a friend that knew you for a long time or something like that for some of you. And then in what you don't see coming, you have the Four of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles here. So it's a very interesting energy. The Four of Wands has to do with a rite of passage or a celebration, a harmonious, you see like a marriage coming through. But then you have the Eight of Swords, which has to do with stuckness. And you have the Five of Pentacles, which has to do with being on the outside. And if you ask me, like, the negative expression of Mars Saturn could be expressed by these two cards. It's almost like running into a brick wall that you're stuck. I want to take action, but I can't. So in some sort of way, in what you don't see coming, I do sense that there's a problem that may be temporarily unworkable between you and someone. Whether it's a family member, one of your one-to-one relationships at work, it's either home and family, love and partnership. And I do feel for many of you that it's almost like there's going to be like a temporary ending or something like that in order for like space to be cleared. For some of you, though, you're going to have to admit to yourself that there's too much damage that's been done here. But for most of you, I don't sense that. For most of you, there's like something that's not going to be solvable this week, but you're still going to solve it with this individual eventually. Even if that's hard to hear, this is the timeline that I'm reading. Okay? And for many of you, you're not off the hook with this. If you feel that someone around you is not recognizing your own worth or your own authority, then you may try to like assert it in some sort of way that's not healthy either. Like you could be sucked into games, or you could be sucked into like a lower vibrational thing based on this. And then in your advice, it's a very go within and deal with your pain before it deals with you. You have in your advice the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Hermit. So for some of you out there, based on your intuition, I feel like there is a sense that, you're going to have to heal from the damage that has been done on a relational level with someone that you really love this week. And it's going to be about you really thinking deeply and pondering how you want to commit to this person or this situation going forward. The Hermit is about thinking deeply and being on your own. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from heartbreak as well. So for some of you, there's going to be the feeling of like, hey, I'm doing my very best here. If that's not good enough for you, I'll leave. and like that may actually be your advice for some of you, is to not be in an area where there's a lot of conflict going on and frustration and anger management, or like a serious type of like battle going on between you and a relationship. It may just be you need to regroup and take time out for yourself. It doesn't have to be permanently for some of you, but for some of you that have been dealing with someone who's been in your life for a very long time, who refuses to see you in a certain way and is only concerned with dominating you or having authority over you, then it may be actually time to realize that this is a rite of passage, and it's now time for you to reclaim your power in like a serious way. Now, it's interesting as well that Saturn is the punisher and Mars is the person who takes action. So that can be like for some of you, there can be like an action that you can take that, for some of you, if you've been like really being hurt by someone for a very long time, it's almost like the action that you take will like bring serious energy, Saturn, and like someone will, or like, you never know what you have until it's gone or something. And there could be like a really serious action that you can take that will bring karma to someone, you know, like if they've been like feeding on your energy and you take it away, well, what happens to that field? What happens to that person when you take it away? And, you know, I don't like to get out into the conflict, but this seems to be what the reading's about. I'm not afraid of it. So let's go ahead and get into it. I do want to clarify, let's just like, I'm going to get a joint clarification for this Mars-Saturn planetary energy. What is this? Give me a little bit more information about this Mars, Sirius, Saturn, masculine energy, difficulty, anger management, etc. Why is this here? Three of Wands, which is about remaining optimistic. Yeah. The Nine of Pentacles and the Strength card here. For some of you, this is definitely about like remaining optimistic that you will get through the power struggle. You will get through it here. For some of you, yeah, like there's definitely a power struggle, I feel, or like anger that you need to wait it out, count to 10 before you do anything. Like the Three of Wands here is like, this too shall pass. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is about independence, and the Strength card. So you may, for some of you here, this may be about like working through feelings of like, am I going to be independent or continuing to work with this individual or like be around them or something. Let's clarify why the Ten of Swords is here. In your overall general energy, there, as you're listening to this, there could have been like a really ending, or there could have been like a really big argument, or like there could be a complete ending for some of you, like as you're listening to this. Yeah, the Three of Cups in reverse. If you live with people, there could be triangulation going on that like led you to walk away. Like the Three of Cups with your family member, there could be people crap talking you, try to get authority over you in some sort of way. Three of Cups in reverse is like a negative social interaction. This could have to do with a third party for some of you as well. That, yeah, you have the Nine of Wands as well, which is to do with unfinished business. So yeah, like whatever this ending is, I feel like there is some sort of unfinished business still going to be present. You also have the King of Cups, which is to do with unconditional love. So I feel like no matter what's happening, whatever power struggle is happening, there is unconditional love that is underlying it. And it's important to understand that if you're dealing with someone who is seemingly trying to have power over you, sometimes, not for all of you, but there's sometimes, especially if this is like a parent, they are literally doing their best. They are literally, I do feel like for some of you, there's someone around, for some of you, there's someone around you who is literally doing the thing that they believe is in your best interest, or they believe is in their best interest, or like they believe is in the best interest of the relationship. But it may actually not be for some of you. So it's like maybe this is about not blaming someone or something like that. Let's clarify what a Strength card is here as well in your overall general energy towards the end of the week. The Five of Swords and the Emperor. Talk about Mars, Saturn. There it is. There it is, the Emperor and the Five of Swords. This has to do with potential toxic masculine behavior that you're going to have to get through. This could have to be, finding strength to move through your own stubbornness for some of you, or someone is around you who's just not going to change their mind, and it's not really even. The Six of Pentacles has to do with an even give and take balance here. So there's definitely someone feels, whether it's you or someone in a relationship this week, feels like the balance is not even there. It's just like a big war, and that's what Mars Saturn is. It makes war real, and that can be very difficult. So let's clarify why the World is in your opportunity. The World is clarified by the Knight of Cups and also the Four of Wands. It has to do with the card of soul family, and it has to do with idealism. For some of you that are in like a blood family thing that you're just never going to get your point across, your true soul family is out there, and your opportunity is to you can still be around people who are going to love you, or you can still create romance in your life. For some of you, this is to do with a conflict with your family, your blood family. Don't let that limit you based on connecting with other people. There are people that you're destined to be with other than them. For others of you, this is about understanding that this is a rite of passage within the relationship to deepen your love for each other. For some of you, if you know that this is not going to be a week of a permanent ending, or between you and someone, then this is about somehow your opportunity is to cash in on this conflict and to be an alchemist, to turn it into an upgrade. You can turn any situation into your benefit because you can gain more information. We did it this way, let's not do that again, or something. Let's clarify why the Star is here in your challenge. The Star in your challenge is clarified by the Queen of Cups, which has to do with unconditional love, and the Nine of Cups, which has to do with self-love and putting yourself first. So that's pretty funny here. So your challenge is to learn the balance between loving yourself and giving someone else unconditional love here, is what I feel. Your challenge may be to heal a relationship with someone who is narcissistic in some sort of way. The Nine of Wands is someone who puts themselves first all the time. The Queen of Cups is quite the opposite. She extends love to everyone, knowing that what you put out is what you get back. So I feel like for some of you, there's a hard balance between it's like almost like pick your poison, Do you really have a choice if you have to choose your own happiness versus cutting yourself off from someone who your heart is connected to? It could feel like a little bit negative in that way for some of you. And for some of you, your challenge is that you will heal this. There is still the King of Cups is in this reading. The Queen of Cups is in this reading. And now it's kind of giving a vibe of you'd only care enough to hate someone that you love, or you'd only care enough to be really upset with someone that you really care about. So maybe no matter what's happening on the surface, understand that that's happening at a deep level. It's all out of love. It's not to say that that's healthy. Human beings say most people think that it's love contains that kind of negativity. It actually doesn't. True love doesn't. So maybe this is a lesson that you're teaching someone else. Let's clarify your advice. Let's clarify why the Hermit is here. The Chariot. The Hanged Man. The Justice card and the Nine of Swords. Wow. All right. So it really depends on your situation. For some of you, the moment abuse shows up, and that's quite possible with Mars Saturn, you're divinely protected to move into a different direction, even if it means sleeping on a friend's couch and not knowing where you're going. The moment abuse happens, it's not your job to put up with that. You can use your free will to leave and know that Spirit will protect you in some sort of way. It may not be easy at all, but you are protected to move on instead of staying in a place where abuse is happening or you're not being recognized. And some of you, like, your opportunity is to surrender the relationship. And your justice is going to be like moving on into a different direction. For others of you though, this is about looking at it from a different perspective. If there's not really genuine abuse happening, and this is about you navigating your own anger or your own frustration with someone based on more of like a minor disagreement, or even if it's like very big in the moment, but like on the grand scale of your relationship, it's not the end of the world. And there's definitely something here about really thinking deeply and looking at it from a different perspective in some sort of way. I feel it's almost like justice will be brought to the relationship is your advice, even if it hurts. There may be something that you have to take accountability for as well. The Justice card, the Chariot, and the Hanged Man is a very intense spiritual energy, clarifying the Hermit in your advice. And I feel that no matter how you cut it, this is gonna push you into the caves of your own soul this week. Like whatever this conflict is, even if it's about resolving a conflict that happened before. So yeah, Pisces, this is what I got for you. I would just say, be really aware of how you're making people feel this week around you, and I feel like ultimately this is leading you in a good direction, no matter what. The worst thing that can happen to you is not really the worst thing if you choose to define it in a neutral or positive way. So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. Hope it helped you. I'll talk to you next time.